what's up? What's going on? It's your dude, Eric. I know it's been a while. You know, I'm wearing pajamas, just sitting down a little bit so I can have a video talk with y'all. I was coming home from work. I wanted to say that it's been 4 years of me being single. My fourth anniversary, by the way, because I feel proud of being single because how the dating is and how messed up it is. It sucks too, but I'm mostly proud of it because I learned more of being single than I was in relationships. I'm going to tell you about my crushes, my exes, and other interactions with women. Now in high school, I've tried to get a I've tried to get a girlfriend in high school. Didn't work out. I've had like three crushes. One, her name was Daniela. I'm sorry. I had a crush on her. I thought she was pretty. She had like kind of red hair. Um, what I've noticed her when I was in a physical education class. PE. I've noticed her, and she would see me around sometimes. She was, she would kind of start interacting with me. You know, like almost so many times, and I had a crush on her. I had feelings for her. I wanted to tell her, but that didn't work out because I found out that she had a boyfriend, and I saw her kiss her. I saw her kiss him. I found out after I got dressed, looking nice and sharp, wearing the Axe scent for nothing. So I made myself look stupid, and I felt sick afterwards. I'm like, I felt lovesick, or something like that. And I was just feeling bad, man. I was like, I had my head down in class the whole time. Everybody thought I was sick or something, but I was really heartbroken, so it was tough to move on. My second crush in high school was, her name, Kiara. I had a crush on her. I thought she was pretty. I thought she was kind of decent. I gave her Valentine's Day, like a little Valentine's Day gift. And then I asked her out once, and she said no, she was too young. You know. At least I did it once. At least I'm not doing it twice. I did it once, and I just moved on from there. That was a try. My third crush, her name was Savannah. I saw her since middle school. I've saw Kiara since middle school too. So this this third girl named Savannah, she saw me drawing in class, middle school and high school. She knows that I draw. She knows I'm an artist. I thought she was pretty cool. She would notice me, and I would notice her. You know, she would give me a hug sometimes, and we just get to know each other. And before we graduated high school, we were going to this high school graduate celebration at Disneyland, and I would see her, and then I would give her a hug and all that stuff, and have this little talk. I had a crush on her, so it was kind of cool. Yeah, she was fun to be around. And then after we graduated high school, I asked her if she wants to go to Disneyland with us. She said yes. I got to meet her family. She got to meet my family. It was just me, my mom, and my sister, and then it was her. So, picked her up, went to Disneyland together, had some fun, and then she just, my family just left us two, just let us two hang out. So we had some fun going on rides, enjoying the amusement park, going to Disneyland and California Adventure. And it was definitely fun. I really had a good time, and I wanted to do this again. The problem was she didn't really answer my phone when I was calling her to let her know that I'm here to pick her up. The second problem was she was looking at my phone, trying to go into my business. She had some little questions, but she was not mad, because she saw my text. She saw my text that my mom texted me of what to do about this girl that I'm hanging out with. So she saw that, had so many questions. It felt a little awkward there. The third problem was when my mom was calling me, starting to call me. She asked if she could answer, and I said yes. I gave her my phone so she could answer, that she could talk, but I don't. That was the problem. The fourth problem was after we hung out at Disneyland, dropped her off, and said, I said goodbye to her and all that stuff, and said bye to her family. We did have a good time, but when I checked up on her, texting her and saying hi, she did not answer. She read all my texts, but did not answer. Yeah, that was it. And I think the fifth problem was, she was talking to her other friends that are boys. She would usually hang out with them more than me, because she knows them, not me. But at least we both got to hang out once. This was a one-time thing. I wanted to do it again, but after all that, no. So it was a good experience. I had some pictures. Okay. I know that was long. That was pretty long about high school. Now in college, I've been the third wheel, I've been the fifth wheel, and I've been the seventh wheel. It's sad, man. I had to crack my neck for something. So yeah, I've been that. I've been the third wheel, fifth wheel, and seventh wheel. I've been hanging out with my friends that are couples, man. Seeing them kiss and seeing them hanging on to each other, and I'm just like, man, when am I gonna get somebody? When am I gonna stop being jealous? When you're a third wheel, it sucks. I've been a third wheel since high school. There are times that my friends wanted to set me up with somebody that I don't know. And I was just like, man, fuck my life. That's how I felt. This was in college. And because of that, because I've been a third grade, I'd be crying because there's like nobody that wants to be with me more than a friend. It's hard. I've seen relationships in high school and I've seen relationships in college. I see relationships outside of school now. I've had 3 exes in college. I didn't get a girlfriend in high school until college. Um, you know, um, my first ex was Stephanie. She was tall as me. She was older than me, 8 years older than me. She wasn't really serious with me, so we dated for a month and just cut there. We were cool to move on. My second ex, her name was Julie. She barely had a voice. She barely walked right. I didn't really care about what she looks like. She was kind of pretty, yeah. And I wasn't really having expectations. I just didn't care. I just wanted somebody. So, what I see is what I get. So, we dated for 2 months. But after those months, she was like switching, playing games with me. That she didn't want to be with me no more, but she wanted to be with me again. But all this time, after she told me about our breakup, she had feelings for somebody else the whole time. So that's when it got me messed up. And I was crying because I've wanted love to last. And I thought she was the one. Well, not really, but I thought she was the person to stick around for a while. My third ex, her name was Manuela, that I've used as a rebound to get over my second ex. We've dated for a year. She used to go to my house and come cook. She was sweet, she was caring, you know. She was cool. But the problem was there were red flags that she used to tell me that she used to tell me that she's bisexual, so she likes girls and guys. I didn't have a problem with that, but I felt a little off about it because I don't want this to ruin. I don't want your sexual. I don't want her sexuality ruin our relationship. It really didn't, but it felt a little off. And then I told her the truth about why I didn't want to get married. I did not want to marry her. I just wanted to be boyfriend and girlfriend, which took everything else off too. So it did more damage when I told her the truth when I didn't want to get married because she thought I was proposing to her. She thought I was the one to stay for a long time. And then she used to rage text me, because she was on her period. So I just told her what she needs to take, just Motrin or some other medicine, so she can, calm down or something. I'm not a doctor. And then, when she wanted to talk about a relationship, I was getting ready, like I was about to meet her in school to talk about our relationship before class started. I was ready, but she was late. But then she told me, she lied to me. That she told me that she had other classes, so we would talk later. But then the whole time she was late, so she lied. But before that, she was lying to me like 3 times, lying to me about that she couldn't come with me, come hang out and all that stuff. She used to lie to me like 4 times. That was simply, she was wasting my time, so, I cut her off. That was over. My second ex be always thinking that we should be friends. She thought I was asking her out, but hell no. My third ex, Manuela, my second ex was Julie. My third one, she thought that we could be friends. She'd be asking me, can we have a talk? Can we be friends? I was like, hell no. No, you think I'm not stupid to try to be friends with you? I'm smart enough to just move on. I'd rather move on than being friends with my ex, because it's just be weird. And then you see your ex all over again every day at school. But anyway, that's over with. And there's another story. My best friend Christian, he used to date this girl, Desiree, before he was gay. Me and Desiree used to be best friends before. So they've been dating since high school. And like I say, I've been best friends with Desiree since middle school. I know I repeated myself, but she had like bad things going on. Like she was feeling suicidal. She was feeling bad about something, and she was very suspicious about why me and Christian started to hang out more than her. That's probably what it was like. And then there was like dramas and dramas and dramas. Me and her, we had fights. I mean, we mostly had arguments. There was one fight we had, fighting over earphones and pulling it and all that stuff. And this was during the class, and we had so many arguments. Like she didn't want me to hang out with the friends group no more. She did not want me there no more. Me and Christian, when we started the friendship, we didn't get along, but we do get along now. So, Desiree, she wanted to get rid of me while they were dating. Desiree told Christian, either you get rid of Eric and we be in a relationship together and keep the friends group, just keep him out, or just simply hang out with him and not deal with me. At least that's what I heard or what I remember. And Christian said, Desiree wanted to get rid of me. She was asking him, can you get rid of Eric? I don't want him hanging out in the group no more. Christian said no. I thought he was going to do it. I thought he was going to get rid of me, but he said no. And he broke up with her. Never let a woman tell you to get rid of your friends that you've known for a long time. Never ever let a woman do that to you. She doesn't know your friends. She only wants to get to know you. Now, when it's me, I don't tell her to change. I don't tell her to get rid of her friends that are girls or even boys. I simply just let her do her thing. But if she wants to be in a relationship with me, just so she know, I'm not getting rid of my friends, and I'm not going to make you get rid of your friends. But do not tell your friends that I'm a bad person when I haven't done anything, you know. I don't want her to make her friends go against me. If I'm not changing her friends, then she doesn't need to change my friends. Also I tell you this, that sorry, I had to scoot up the chair. But one time, when I was in college, like outside of college, we were hanging out. This one girl that has a sister was telling my best friend Christian that he was weird, very very weird, like in a bad way, and she did not want to hang out with him because he was weird. And I saw my best friend's face. He was kind of shutting down, and it kind of looked like he was about to cry, but he didn't. But he just felt bad, man. He was kind of upset. So, you know, it kind of broke his heart. I did not like that either. So it's not like I went up to a girl and just yelled at her and all that stuff. I didn't do that. I was like, never hang out with this girl again. Never do that again. You know, I've been around my best friend. He used to be, like, he don't cry as much, but man, I saw him cry, and you know, I've been around him, you know. And I remember in college, man, I was playing pool table, and I saw my best friend crying, and I just stopped playing pool table to go check on my best friend. Even though he gets on my nerves every single time, but he doesn't tell me to change myself. He doesn't tell me to do that. He just lets me do me, even though he be making jokes sometimes that I don't like, but he's not making me change. Anyway, that was all for that. I had so many stories. I just had to tell you that. The last time I've had a company from a woman was in January in Washington, D.C. This one girl that I've got along with, that I made a new friend with, her name was Emma. She was from New Zealand. After I went to explore the White House and the Lincoln Memorial, I went back to my hostel after getting something to eat. I went to my hostel, and I saw her. She had like a couple of bags, and I just opened the door for her because I just wanted to go inside, and I'm just gonna let her inside, so she could be able to check in and just sleep for a few days. And then we had a little talk about where she was from and where I was from, and just hanging out a little bit. I basically made her feel welcome. The next day, after, the next day, we had dinner together. It was after she asked me, hey, we should have, like, she was telling me, we should have dinner tomorrow. And I was like, cool, I'm down. And it was her first time too. So, she was exploring in other different areas, and so was I. So, we were exploring separately. So, we met each other back in the hotel after getting something to eat. I did not buy her dinner. She bought herself dinner. I bought myself dinner. That's what I would call it, a date. That's what I would call a date. Paying each other dinner, and naturally building a connection, getting to know each other. That's what I would call it. No rush. And since we were new of Washington, D.C., it kind of made everything better. And I wasn't friends yet, so I was all right. It wasn't really a date, but that's what I would call it. That's the way it should have been in America. That's the way dating should have been. But you know how that is. It's crazy. Putting all your money into one person, investing to this woman that you don't know, and she's still not impressed. Thanks, but I'll pass. So yeah, we had a good time hanging out together. We were playing Connect 4. She loves that game. I love that game. I haven't played that game in a while too. So it was really that fun. And then she was leaving. I got my chance to say goodbye, and I just let her go, man. It was time to move on anyway, so I was okay. And I had other things to explore in Washington, D.C. I was in D.C. for like 6 days, almost a week. So I did my part. I was not expecting company at all. But that was awesome. I got to visit New Zealand one day. Okay. And I've been single for 4 years because of dating. How crazy dating is. And I haven't really found one decent girl in America. Not one. And I kind of get through by focusing what I want, focusing what I'm doing, working, and watching YouTube videos at home, finding my entertainment, going out and doing these art shows, doing my thing. In case if I get horny, yeah, I watch porn and jack off and do something else. So I'll be just fine. Personally, I rather not do semen retention because no matter how many times if I try to stop watching porn, like when they say don't focus on women, I'm trying not to. But man, I do desire them, and I'm not in a rush to have sex, so I'll be okay. I've been a virgin my whole life, and I'm not even religious. I didn't choose to be a virgin, but I've been holding my virginity ever since. My 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 friends that are couples been having sex. My friends that are couples be kissing and kissing, and telling me to hook up. But like, who am I gonna hook up with? Like that's possible, but I'll find something else to do. And I'd rather be talking to women in person than online. I've cut almost all of my social media off. I have a YouTube because I like that better. I get to talk about my stuff, and I rather do vlogs. Like I would do expression videos and vlog videos. But give me a chance to balance that out. For 5 months, I've deleted Instagram. I think for no, for a year, I've deleted TikTok and Facebook. I've deleted Snapchat like a few years back, Twitter, Vine. Um, what else is another one? Yeah, I think that's about almost all the social medias. I just have an art station, DeviantArt, and YouTube. That's it. I did delete Etsy because I was just paying fees. So, I couldn't really sell my art there no more. Wasn't really making money. So I'd rather do these art shows in person and have interactions with people in person. It's better for me that way. At least this way, I could improve how I talk to people. And like I said, man, when I was in the art show in Washington, D.C., this one black woman gets so concerned why I deleted my Instagram. I told her all my reasons, but she didn't really listen. Saying that when you need followers, you need an Instagram. You need to promote your stuff. The next time you do this art show, I want you to have an Instagram. So talking in person is not enough, huh? Makes me want to be low key even more. You want to see what I can do? Let me know. If you want my art so bad, you better get ready when I book another art show. Get over here when you make the time. And take my art home with you. By the way, it's better to be in person than online, because when you're online, all you're doing is just interacting and interacting, but when you're in person, you have nothing to say. At least that's what I know. I could be like that too. Even if I'm not on the internet, I could be like that. Oh, social media is not socializing. It's just competition now. And even if you don't have a social media, you could end up comparing yourself anyway. There are billboards. There's like Forever 21 shopping. There's the mall. And when you're on social media, people are just flexing and influencing you. Now you want to do the same thing that they do. But it takes a while. You could get there so far and you still would not be happy about your results. But you want to do that? That's fine. I can't make you. Me, I just rather have less materialistic stuff. And it's not like back in the day, all these flexing and social media stuff existed. I think y'all understand that. Anyway, I think that's all I said for that social media stuff and dating and stuff. Like I said, it's just crazy. I feel proud to just do my thing without too many social media. I don't even have a car no more. I was in a car accident. My life changed. I mean, it's not really changed, but I think my life switched a little bit in a good way after a car accident. So, I ride my bike every day. I maintain my weight. I'm not perfect with it, but you know what I'm talking about. There's another thing I'm going to say. That I have this in my hand. It's my best friend's birthday. My best friend's birthday is next week, but that's in a few days. Here's what I'm gonna do. Since he's going to Mexico, I'm going with him. I've had this passport since 2021. It doesn't expire until 2031. That's 10 days. 10 years. So I'm going to try to keep using it as possible. And still be able to take days off if my job is still okay with that. If not, then I just have to, just keep working until then. Using my paid time off hours. Days or something. I only got a week off. So I'm going to go to Mexico with him in a week. For just a week. He's going to stay there 3 weeks, but I'm just going to stay there for 1 so I can support him and, just get outside the country, I was given some advice. That I should drink beverages in a bottle. Because they said that there's dirty water in Mexico. It's not always clean. That there are cartels. I gotta watch out for that. And when I get over there, I'll have to change the US dollars to pesos, Mexican dollars. $1 in USA is like almost $20 in Mexico. Mexico. I'm trying to do more research of how to do it. But my best friend and his family, they're gonna help me how to do that. Convert dollars. They're gonna help me with that once I land in Mexico with them. My uncle is in Mexico. Like he moved to Mexico. I think he bought a house in Mexico. So he'd been living there. He says that it's beautiful over there and it's cool. And he's been traveling outside of the country for years. He's been traveling and traveling. So it was cool. It's funny, right? Because my uncle came over one time, and so did my best friend Christian. Because my uncle is gay, and my best friend is gay. My best friend opened up to my uncle. You know, they had a little talk while I was making breakfast in the morning. So, you know, it was cool. They had their talking experience. And I just let them be. Uh, yeah, I'm going to have a good time and support him on his birthday and just go with him. And this is my chance to get out of my country and take a little break from it. I've seen too much. I know too much. You know, as long as I keep working, I'm going to try my best to just relax and enjoy life a little bit. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be aware, because I still will. I still going to watch out. It's not a game, but society is playing games. And when it comes to marriage, man, I can't stand it. I know who got a divorce. Sylvester Stallone got a divorce. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, they got a divorce. Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa, they got a divorce. I'm not sure who Sylvester Stallone's wife is, but I know he got a divorce. Now it's like Rocky can't find his Adrian no more. Dr. Dre and his wife, they got a divorce. My parents got a divorce. I live without a mom. I'm sorry. I live without a father, so I've been living with my mom my whole entire life. So, you know, I try my hardest to, you know, I try to work hard being a man, be my own man, and I try to work hard and figure out what I need to do. I try my best, and, you know, I'm still going to keep going and just keep doing my thing, and as long as I keep working and stay focused, you know. I know I'm young. I know that. But things could happen, so I'll give an update of what's changed later on in the future. You know, it's pretty cool, right? That when I do these art shows, you know, people love looking at my artwork. People love talk. You know, people want to know how do I do this stuff. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome for people to, you know, be interested in my stuff and how open I am with my art style. It's awesome. I love that. And then they be buying my artwork and they take it home because it would mean something to them. Okay. I do have another art show coming in Florida. Another art show in Florida another month. No, sorry. I have an art show in Florida, and that's in a month. If I get those days off, I'm going over there. I have another art show in Atlanta, so I have two art shows booked. The one in Florida that's coming in June, almost the end of June, and then the one in Atlanta. And that's in July. I posted on my community page, so if you want to check it out, please do. If you're interested in my stuff, hey, check out the link. the Pancakes and Booze website and their event. Check that out so you could buy their tickets if you're interested. And buy your plane ticket if you're further than me. I'm further than Atlanta. I'm in California, so I'm gonna book a flight ticket soon. That's only coming in months. Uh, so yeah, if you want to see my art stuff, just either you check it out on ArtStation or DeviantArt, or just come see me in person. Cause I've worked hard, and I'm gonna push myself to keep getting myself out there. No promotion, no nothing, just natural support. So art vlogs coming soon. That was a lot. That was a lot. So yeah, with dating, man, dating. Dating women in America is like the same thing as letting your so-called friends take advantage of you. Another story, my last story, and then I'm going to cut it off. I was friends with two couples. I was asking my mom for money, for allowance money. After we hung out at the movies together, I asked her for some money so I can get myself dinner. But I also, two of the couples, they were having a hard time paying themselves dinner, so they were asking me, and I said, yeah. I went and did it. I paid them both dinner after I paid myself dinner. So, it was sad, right? Because I paid two couples dinner and I did not have a job. That was the sad part. They barely thanked me. Those two couples were Jonathan and Karina. But Jonathan, he did not show up to my birthday. He did not show up to my best friend's birthday. All because he had laundry to do. You have all the time in the world to do laundry. And if you have enough clothes, then you should be able to wear it and show up. I cut him off. And like I told you before, I had my scooter stolen by a girl in middle school, asking me $20 for my scooter back. Rip off. That scooter is mine. She was asking to borrow it, but she stole it. Lesson learned. Sharing is not caring. And if we're gonna date, we should pay our own dinner. I'm not going out of my pocket to pay. And I'm so glad that I'm not dating right now. And I could just meet people all over the world, and still get some company from a woman. And if she wants to hook up with me, I want her to let me know. there's no rush. I do want a relationship, but it seems that I've seen women, I've seen women who are less relationship material, who have not been relationship material lately. I can't change them, but if I can't change them, then whatever. I can't change them, so I'm gonna let them be. Let them learn a hard lesson. And for us, either you just, like, there are better things to focus on. So I'm gonna try my best to focus on what I need to do and what I love to do. And if someone comes along and loves what I'm doing and does the same thing, cool. Anyway, that's all I said in that. I've said my piece, and I've expressed what I wanted to express. This was a long one, but that's what I wanted to say. Like or dislike. Comment down below if you have any stories, or what you don't agree on, or what you agree on. And I'm gonna get ready to pack up. I'm almost ready to pack up. And I got work tomorrow, so that last day, on that Monday morning, I'm gonna be heading to Mexico with my best friend, and we're gonna have a good time. And Mexico vlog coming soon too. They will not be posted until I come back. So, this is Eric. I'll see y'all very, very soon.